If you're a guitarist who loves soulful music, but you keep playing the same things, stuck in the same patterns, the answer might be hiding in the music of someone who never actually played guitar. His name is J Dilla, a legendary artist and hip-hop producer from Detroit who revolutionized the feeling of soul in modern music. Dilla's records are full of hidden gems and creative concepts, powerful tools you can bring to your instrument to make your playing more soulful and expressive. What took me 15 years to understand, you're about to learn in the next 15 minutes. So in this video, I'm going to cherry pick my favorite Dilla songs, extract the most unique musical elements, and show you how to apply them directly to your playing in real time. By the end of this lesson, you'll hear chord voicings and melodies that change the way you think about harmony. You'll understand groove and bass lines in a way most guitarists never do, and you'll see how tone and texture can completely transform a song. I came up playing in the Philadelphia gospel, R&B, and soul scene. And in that world, J Dilla's music and influence was everywhere. His sound shaped an entire generation of musicians. Being around that music taught me something early. This wasn't just about hip-hop production, it was a completely different way of feeling the groove and the harmony and the motion in the music. And honestly, it changed the way I express myself on the guitar. If you guys want more breakdowns like this, hit the like and the subscribe button, man. It helps support the channel and keeps us making more deep dives like this so you can apply them to your playing. Also, drop a comment below with the next artist you'd like to see next. Before we start pulling these ideas onto the guitar, we need to understand what made J Dilla's music sound so different in the first place. J Dilla's innovative techniques and his signature feel created grooves that felt loose, human, and deeply soulful. His influence reaches far beyond hip-hop. Artists like Thundercat, Erykah Badu, Robert Glasper, and many more have all pointed to Dilla as one of the most important musical minds of the last few decades. But what made his music truly special was the world of sounds he was pulling from. Dilla wasn't just sampling soul or hip-hop records, he was digging through the insanely diverse landscape of every musical genre you can think of. From hypnotic textures of indie bands like Stereolab, the intimate Brazilian guitar playing of people like Luis Bonfa, the experimental rock sounds of bands like 10cc,
and just because,
the cinematic atmosphere of composers like Ennio Morricone, and the lush psychedelic harmony of artists like Tarika Blue. He had this rare ability to take tiny moments from completely different musical worlds and then transform them into something that felt entirely new. And once you start hearing what he was actually doing, you start to realize there are some incredibly powerful musical ideas hiding in there for guitar players. So let's break down a few of them right now. When it comes to chord and melody chemistry, there are a lot of musical lessons guitar players can take from Dilla's approach, but let's start with something you can apply to your playing right away. One of the things that makes Dilla's music feel so rich and soulful is the kind of harmony he was pulling from in his samples. Many of the records he sampled came from jazz, soul, and fusion musicians who used colorful, expansive chords. Those styles constantly use what I like to call color chords. These are chords that add extra notes and subtle tensions that give the harmony a richer, more emotional feeling. I'm going to play through some of these chords real quick. Just pay attention to the sound of each one of the chords and how they make you feel. You'll hear chords like sus4. So what you can do is replace the third of a chord with a fourth, and that removes the clear major minor quality and creates a sense of smooth tension and openness, something that like it's leaning forward but hasn't quite landed yet. It feels unresolved and floating, which makes it great for creating movement, which resolves back to the one. We also have major 9 chords, super lush, feels smooth, it feels warm, one of my favorites. Then we have, let's say, a minor 6. Instead of sounding dark or heavy like a typical minor chord, the added 6th gives like a bittersweet color to it. You also have the minor 9 chord. Spacious sound that feels smooth, soulful, one of the most recognizable colors in R&B, hip hop and soul. Now we also have the 11 chord, adds that extra note, wide layered sound. It feels rich, textured, kind of feels like spread out. So they created these open sounds that feel spacious, ambiguous, and this is a lot of stuff that Dilla sampled from these types of chordal harmonies. So each one adds its own shade of emotion and color to the harmony. And once you start hearing these sounds, you'll recognize them all over Dilla's music. But let me show you the emotional difference these color chords can make when you understand how to use them. We're going to take a simple progression everyone knows, something like canon in D. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this chord progression, one with the really simple chord voicings, and then the second with those color chords. You can see by applying those color tones to those basic chords, it gives it a completely different feel. But here's the thing, you can know all of these shapes, but if you don't have a system to understand how to apply them in a musical context, it will just be more information that doesn't actually help your playing. Food for thought. But let's see how these types of chords are applied to Dilla's music. Here's one of my favorites called Fall in Love. Check it out.
1, 2. 1, 2.
I just love the rich color of that minor 6 voicing. So this song is actually in the key A flat. A lot of times we use minor 6 over 2 chords. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the 1. And then we got that other color chord, the minor 9 over the 6. So nice. I'm gonna give it that Dilla feel over the chords. I might go up top. Something like that. Again, I just love the rich color of that minor 6 voicing. You can hear how those color tones just give it that melody. I also just love the way the melody up top just guides the chords. Lovely. Moving on, I want to talk about the suspended and chordal harmony. One of the first times this really clicked for me was when I heard the song So Far to Go. Check it out. So we're in the key of B flat here, and it's just moving these minor chords. Yeah, so it goes 6, 2, 3, 2, and then there's that suspended. I remember breaking down this track for the first time, and I got really schooled on the suspended chord. I remember hearing it and thinking, what is this sound? It felt major, but it also felt minor at the same time, and I just kept playing the track and like rubbing major and minor chords, and then finally I figured it out. And after that, I just kept playing it as much as I could. Again, I'm gonna give it that Dilla feel with the kick and snare. I love these voicings so much. I've made so many Dilla arrangements. Actually, there's some on my YouTube. Let me just play a quick arrangement of So Far to Go real quick. And what I did was I actually recorded this with the producer of The Roots and some incredible Philly musicians back in the day. Check it out. Now, one of the songs that really pushed me to dive deeper into chord melody was Time by Dilla. Check it out. I remember the first time I heard this, it blew my mind. The way that the harmony and the melody moved together, it just really stood out to me. That's when I started to become obsessed with figuring out how to bring the same idea to the guitar. I'm always super humbled by how difficult it is to make chords and melodies happen at the same time in a way that sounds full, connected, and soulful. Listen, I show this in my system on how to do this. Let's break down what's happening here. This song's in the key of G. And what I do is I use more like indie style voicings. Always trying to pedal open strings because it sounds great, especially with chord melody. So 4 to 3, 2 chord. Now, instead of playing the 2 here, I'm playing it open so I can get those open strings. 4 chord, 5. Again, playing these more unconventional. Normally a C's like this, playing it with the, 5th on top, open major 7, getting that rub. So again, I'm trying to change things around. So I'll use my system to bring it up higher like this. Again, another voicing. Now, a lot of people are familiar with the R&B flutter technique, but one of the first times it really stuck with me was when I heard Last Donut of the Night by Dilla. Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a perfect example of that sort of chopping sound that Dilla got, and I use that so much in my style of playing it. Okay, so it's in the key of D flat. He starts on the 6th chord. And he does a flutter off the 6th chord. I'm usually doing, if I'm on the 5th string root, I'm usually doing a flutter on the 1st string. And then he goes to the 5 chord backside. And then down to the 4 chord. Down to the 3 chord. And I usually just find these little areas off the shape where I have an extra finger free. It might not be the exact notes, but it's the same vibe. But he always has that flutter off the snare. So as you can see, there's this subtle rhythmic movement happening inside the harmony. So instead of sitting down at the piano or the guitar and writing chords, he was sampling these chords from records. So Dilla would take those chords and re-chop them rhythmically inside the sampler. So instead of starting with chords, then adding groove like most musicians do, he was starting groove, then adding harmony, and then the performance, and then rearranging it into something new. And that changes both the harmonic feel and the time feel in ways that feel almost counterintuitive to most musicians. Feels like it could just repeat forever. What I learned from this is you can play short chopped progression loops and have a hypnotic feel. Here, I'm gonna play an example real quick. Check it out.
Just because I really love you, I let you treat me love you.
So it repeats.
Go.
You hear how he's just repeating that last chord. Just because, right? What I get from that is that as long as the groove is good, you can play simple things over and over again. So I'm going to play some IG clips right now from back in the day so you can hear his influence on my playing. Check it out. Another thing Dilla's music really inspired in me was my love for fingerstyle guitar and chord melody. A lot of his beats have these very beautiful guitar samples that feel very intimate and melodic. So when I first started studying his music, I became obsessed with trying to recreate those beats on guitar using fingerstyle. One of the best examples of this is a track called Runnin'. The guitar sample in this beat is crazy. It actually comes from this Brazilian guitarist named Luiz Bonfa, and you can really hear the bossa nova influence in the way the harmony and the melody move together. Listen to the way that he chopped this. Bossa nova. Here's Dilla's. It's so sick. So sick. He kind of pedals this open B string. And it goes from the 4 chord. But he kind of chops it up, so it's just a couple notes. Now there's that flat 7. So it goes 4 chord, 3 chord, flat 7, and then major 6. So I'm going to try to switch it up a little bit and get more creative with the way I'm playing that major 6 chord. So that style of guitar where the bass, the chords, and the melody all sit inside the same part is a huge part of what inspired me to combine fingerstyle playing with hip-hop groove. And when Dilla sampled it and placed it all over hip-hop beats, it created this really unique fusion of styles. That Brazilian guitar, the jazz harmony, the hip-hop rhythm, that combination just had a huge influence on my playing. If you guys like that blend of nylon string fingerstyle with the hip-hop beats, you should definitely check out another artist in the same camp as him. He's called Nujabes. Let's recap this lesson on chords and melody. If you like the way that I play and want to understand the ingredients behind the soulful guitar playing at this level, I put together a workshop that breaks down the 7 elements that shape this style. Now, this is based on my 20 years of experience as a professional musician. So inside, you'll also find exercises you can start using right away. You can grab it in the link in the description below. 4 key takeaways. Number 1, you can use color chords. Add 6th, 7th, 9th, suspensions, chordal harmony to give new emotion to your chords. Number 2, you can blend chords and melody, harmony and melody as one voice. Number 3, you can make the chords rhythmic. Treat chords like a part of the groove, not just a background harmony. Number 4, you can look to play simple chord progressions and melodies, as long as it sounds good. If there's one place where that philosophy really shows up in Dilla's music, it's in the way he approached rhythm and groove. So, on to the Dilla swing and bass formula. Dilla grew up studying the rhythmic DNA of producers like Tribe Called Quest, Pete Rock, and DJ Premier. These are the architects of hip-hop in the 90s. He absorbed their sense of swing and looseness, and then he pushed it even further into what we now call the Dilla feel. He intentionally played the drums slightly off the grid. The snare might be rushed and the hats might be swung. Each element sits in a different place around the beat, and that tiny push and pull creates the laid-back human pocket. Here's my own take on that famous Dilla feel using just a guitar. Instead of something like this, I might go. So it's all about the creativity and the feel in the rhythm hand, which always gets overlooked. Now, onto the bass lines. Leading off the drums, let's talk about Dilla's bass lines. They're typically simple, repetitive, melodic, and deeply locked onto the groove. They often move in short, repeating phrases that interact closely with the kick drum, creating a heavy hypnotic pocket that anchors the entire track. Harmonically is bass lines outlining the character of the chords, leaning on soulful tones like minor 7ths, suspended notes, and subtle chromatic movement. My favorite example of this is Didn't You Know? He made this with Erykah Badu. Check it out. got that bass line. I actually just did a jam with my friend Rex. Check out the version that we did. For guitar players, the lesson is to treat the bass line as part of the groove and the emotional core of the track. Focus on strong rhythm, clear note choices, and how the line supports the chords. The goal isn't complexity, it's creating a line that locks in, that feels great, and elevates everything around it. Guitarists overlook this all the time. Tone is a way you can communicate emotion, in the same way that you can with chords and melody. On Dilla's records, you're hearing guitars from completely different worlds. Brazilian jazz all the way to psychedelic rock, soul, and fusion. So if your reference point is mostly neo-soul or R&B, the guitar tones you hear in Dilla's records can completely expand your toolbox. Guitar tone choices in Dilla's records expose you to an entirely new palette of tones and textures, and each one changes the emotional color of the music. Didn't You Know inspired me to learn how to use volume swell. Okay, so even though this isn't a traditional sitar, it's an instrument that was invented in the 1960s to recreate the sound of a real sitar. Check it out. Okay, so the last tone we're gonna do is on the song called Working On It, that has a kind of delay effect that can give your sound a futuristic kind of feeling to it, especially if you use it aggressively like in this song. The interesting thing about the delay and effects in general is that if you put them on while you're playing, you'll actually think of different creative parts to do. Check it out. Here's what people miss about J Dilla. He didn't just listen to his favorite music, he had a system to extract what made it special and immediately use it in his own music. In Mike's system, you can take the music that you love, you can extract the elements that make the music great, and you can translate them to your playing. But here's the thing most people won't tell you. It's not about where you put your fingers, it's not about the strumming patterns or learning the scales faster. It's about your ears. You have to train your ears. You have to be around great musicians, and you have to constantly listen to records and understand how those records are moving, what's making those ingredients to make the recipe that is that track that you love so much. So whether it's using my system or somebody else's system, make sure you train your ears. Peace. Are you a guitarist around the intermediate to advanced stage? I have a system. It's called the Creative Guitar Method. We offered a personalized roadmap, direct feedback, and accountability. If you feel like we can help you, click the link below to apply.